The gifts are in the grind. This year, I'm going to celebrate my 43rd anniversary of being in business for myself. That's crazy. 43 years. It has not been easy. In fact, you know that some people might say that I have helped them become more successful, when in reality, no one has ever come back to me and said, you know, thank you, Mark. This was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. And no one ever came back and said to me, and it happened so much faster than I thought that it would happen. But in 1982, I discovered my dream to be a professional speaker, but I learned very quickly that I had to earn the right to speak. And so some of you are not aware of this, but I owned my own marketing agency from 1982 to 1992. We were a small creative firm, but we did media buys and direct mail campaigns and creative work and graphic work. And I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but in 1985, I invested $10,000 into a Macintosh 512K desktop computer, MacWrite, MacPaint, and literally one of the world's first 300 DPI Apple laser writers. And it became a game changer. And we began to broker so much printing that one day this young guy said, wouldn't it be nice if I owned my own print shop? And so I bought a printing company. And I positioned our company as a marketing agency with an in-house print department. And we grew that business over the next 10 years. And then finally, my speaking evaluation started to get a little bit better. And I thought, who knew? And all of a sudden I realized that I had earned the right to speak. And so I took a year to position my business for sale. I sold it in 1992 to pursue my dream of being a professional speaker. I remind you one more time, it is not for the faint of heart. I have experienced the good, the bad, the ugly, and the great over the course of time, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. In fact, I believe the next 10 years are going to be amazing. I think for people like you and people like me, the opportunities are everywhere. They're just like rabbits. They're everywhere if you open your mind to what is possible. What is your dream? What do you want? Do you want to grow your agency? Do you want to double your revenues? Do you want to write the right book? Do you want to get paid to speak? Do you want to have more impact and influence with the people that you serve best? I don't know what you want. And that's okay. Because I live in a world of two or more right answers. You see, success is a quest story wrapped in a mystery story. Wrapped in a mystery story. And if I could wave a magic wand and forever you would be well, it would be this: to find your recipe, to crack your code, and becoming as successful as you are capable of becoming, and as successful as you choose to be. After clocking 20,000 business coaching hours, most of them with Elaine, and Manley, and Henry, the lion's share of my business coaching hours with these three individuals over the last some 32 years. But I do know this. I know that that question, what do you want, is the second most difficult question for people to answer in writing. I want you to think about that. What do you want? The second most difficult question for people to answer in writing, not in some vague wish in your heart or in your head. We know better, but we know that nothing great happens if you leave it in your head or you leave it in your heart. What if I could tell you that everything you want, that everything you want and everything that you desire could be driven by one thing? In fact, if you're familiar with my work, I live in a world of two or more right answers. It's not my way or the highway, except one best practice. In fact, I refer to it as my one and only demandment. And I can promise you, as I stand before you, Henry, God, and the video camera, I promise you that if you will do this one thing, it can be a gateway practice to everything that you want. How many of you would like to know what that one thing just might be? That one thing is best practice one. Track your numbers properly. Track your numbers properly. Interestingly enough, that has nothing to do with profit and loss statements and QuickBooks and your taxes or anything like that. Best practice one is track your numbers properly. Mark, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by tracking your numbers properly? Stand up. I want you to warm up a little bit. I never want you to try this without properly warming up. Never do this at home alone without warming up. Are you ready? Are you warmed up? I want you to hold your hands out like this. And I want you to repeat after me. Side by side by side. Very good, class. Let's try that again. Side by side by side. A little faster. Side by side by side. Backwards. Side by side by side. On one foot. Side by side by side. All right, give yourself and each other a round of applause. Go ahead and sit down. That's it, Mark. That's all I got to do is track my numbers properly side by side by side. Not quite sure what that means. Sounds good. Any chance you might have a tool that could help me do that? 1, 2, 3. Thank you for asking. I do have a tool that can help you track your numbers side by side by side. In fact, I shared with you that the gifts are in the grind. And on your way out today, I have 3 gifts for you. For every single one of you, I have a copy of my new book, The Enhanced Version of Growing Your Business. Secondly, I have our Team LeBlanc. All of my coaching clients have our numbers tracking tool, and all of my coaching clients are on what we call Team LeBlanc. I have our Team LeBlanc proprietary numbers tracking tool on a thumb drive. So each of you are going to get a complimentary book and a thumb drive. Now I know that some of you are not maybe Excel savvy. I'm not either. Some of you may be unique in God's eyes. You're not in mine. Some of you just might open up that numbers tracking tool and say, not for me. And so, gift number 3, I'm going to host a 90-day complimentary cohort for every single one of you that raises your hand and wants to be a part of it over the next 90 days. We will send you more details and an invitation to participate. You are under no obligation. I will not try to sell you a thing. Henry will say, and some people have said, that our numbers tracking tool is my legacy to mankind. It is that powerful. And we will stand behind it every single day, every single client, in every single way. Did I promise you? I did. You heard that, right? I promised you that if you are open to test driving our numbers tracking tool over the next 90 days, I think you will be astonished at what you can do and how you might create a new starting line in the direction of your dream, even for those of you that are doing well. Imagine if you could just take it up even a notch. Take a deep breath. Let it out. What are you willing to do in order to get more of what you want? Success is not determined by your results. Success is determined by your momentum. Your momentum is determined by how you feel. And how you feel is ultimately determined by the consistent daily application of the best that you have within you, or your personal best. And we know that our personal best rises and falls like a thermometer on a regular basis. The seeds of doubt and uncertainty and chaos are only ever an arm's length away. Would you agree? It doesn't matter what you did last week. It doesn't matter what your numbers were last year or last month or last quarter. Those seeds of doubt and uncertainty and chaos thrive. In fact, there are 3 reasons why you might not make it. Only 3. Number 1, a lack of clarity. Number 2, a lack of congruency. And number 3, a lack of consistency. It will never be due to a lack of commitment. You are all committed to making something great happen in your life and work. And it will not be due to a lack of conviction. Because the one thing that I've learned over the course of 30-some years as a professional speaker and over 2,000 audiences, the one thing that binds you and me together is we have that knowingness. You have that gift or that talent or that skill or that ability or that message to impact the life or work or career of another person. I would suggest to you that as you look out into the future, that you can grow your business. You can put more money in your pocket as a business owner. You can get your fund meter on max, and that you can have the kind of balance you want between your home and your work life. But maybe above all, you can have the kind of impact and influence you really want to have with the people that you serve best. It is true. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, take someone with you. take me with you.